So this is a round the clock exercise. Now this is a really important foundation level exercise for our dogs. This is the first exercise that we're going to introduce the manners minder or the treat and train. Okay, so if you can see in front of you, what we've got is, I've marked out a circle with cones. Now that's just to kind of help you understand the setup of the exercise. You don't need to use all these cones. What we're looking at is the mat there is in the middle of, I want you to imagine this is a clock face, okay, and the mat is in the centre of your clock face, and the manners minder is up at the 12 o'clock position. Okay, so this exercise is all about task focus. Now we covered task focus in our pre-foundations. We discussed it's all about getting the dog to focus on the task in hand before actually going for its reward. So now that we've introduced the manners minder, what we find in this exercise is a lot of the dogs just run straight for the manners minder and ignore the mat. So we want to try and proof against that right at this early stage. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the dog down at the 6 o'clock position. And release the dog, and the dog has to then find the mat before going to the manners minder. And every repetition, we're going to move round the circle, so we're resetting the dog at a different angle on every repetition. So it doesn't matter what angle the dog is starting the exercise from, the dog always has to think first about targeting the mat before going to the manners minder. Okay, now it's really important in this exercise that we do not reward good attempts or good effort. Okay, we are only ever going to reward really strong positive hits on the mat. What we see a lot of in this exercise is dogs will run towards the mat and they'll stop short and then turn towards the manners minder. Okay, so we need to try and get away from that. We need the dogs to understand that it's their strong hit on the mat that actually activates the manners minder, the food coming from the manners minder. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate this exercise. Okay, I'm going to start at the 6 o'clock position and I'm going to work my way around the circle until I'm sending the dog directly away from the manners minder to the mat, and then it has to come back for its reward. So we're going to start at the 6 o'clock position and send the dog forward. If the dog targets the mat and gives us a good hit, we can reward at the manners minder. So if we're successful, we'll move around the circle to the next position. And again, good solid hit on the mat. So again, move round to the next position. Again, happy with that hit. So as long as you're happy with the hits, just keep moving round. So you'll see when I get to the 11 o'clock position, Crazy goes all the way to the mat, but then strides over it. So again, no reward for that. It was a good effort, but we didn't get a good solid mat hit, so we're not going to reward that. We're going to give her a few attempts to see if she can correct herself. If your dog really struggles from a certain position, I'll give it a few shots to try and correct itself. If it's really struggling, then move back to a point where your dog's successful. So on the third attempt there, she got a good solid hit on the mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reinforce it from there again before making it any harder. And she hits the mat again. So then I'm going to move around to the next position, the 12 o'clock position, and go from there. So again, no mat hit, so I'll give her another chance to correct herself. Good solid mat hit that time, and a jackpot reward. So now we're moving round the other side of the circle. So starting at the 12 o'clock position, good solid mat hit. Now we'll move round to the 1 o'clock position. Again, happy with that, so we'll move round again. So on this side of the circle, we're starting with it quite hard and gradually making it easier. Again, nice solid hit on the mat, so jackpot reward. Okay, and you can see in that one, she stride over the mat, she didn't actually touch it, so no reward. Ask her to try again, and she was able to correct herself on that attempt.
And that's us back to the 6 o'clock position where we started. We'll just do one more repetition from there, and we'll finish the session on that.